And now you'll be able to blow everyone in the Commonwealth. Mercy Long giving you shit. Bye-bye, Mercy. Trash Can Carla just bothering you for no reason. See you, bitch. Preston Garvey's wiener not sucking itself. I mean, oh, shit. Now this mod adds a new sci-fi rifle to the Commonwealth. It has all its own meshes and high-resolution textures, and oh boy, those textures look so good, don't they? Those textures just look like they'd go great with a big bucket of fried chicken and a half-eaten bag of potato chips, don't they? Oh yeah. This laser rifle also has a unique design that will give you the impression of a futuristic laser rifle. This gun was either designed in the future, or it was designed by extraterrestrials with giant heads and tiny bodies. This is likely the type of gun E.T. would have used to blast Elliot's f***ing face off if he turned out to be an asshole at the end of that movie. Boy, that would have been a twist, eh? Shit, no one would have saw that coming. I mean, I can see it already. Elliot would just be sitting there waving to him after he and the alien had just finished touching tips, and E.T. would disappear into the foggy spaceship. And just as Elliot and his friends turn around and are about to leave, you just hear a little alien voice say, "Surprise, motherfuckers!" And then E.T. comes back out of the mist with this laser rifle, guns blazing, and kills everybody. Boy, that would have been a weird alternative ending, wouldn't it? But I kind of wish it was a thing. Now this beauty also has a few different customization options to choose from as well, including 3 models of sights with zoom settings, 9 reticles for each of the sights, and 9 materials for the basic model and sights. It also has some really cool looking skins to choose from. These are definitely the most unique looking skins I've ever seen on a modded weapon in Fallout 4. They just look stupendous, don't they? Now if E.T. wanted to get his long penis-shaped fingers on this weapon mod, then he would have to find it in the world space just like you. This mod can actually be found east of the Boston Mayoral Shelter. Now this is an incredible weapon mod, and I think it's awesome that someone added a sniper-style futuristic rifle to the game, as that's the type of weapon we don't see a lot of in Fallout 4, especially in terms of mods. So this is a must-have addition to anyone's playthrough of Fallout 4. I rate this mod one of the deadliest spiders on planet Earth. He's not like other spiders. He doesn't use venom to kill his victims. No. This spider strangles his victims to death. That's what I call one sick, twisted f***ing spider. For those of you who don't know what Elysium is, it's actually a movie starring my boy Matt Damon in a dystopian future where the rich live on a really cool space station just outside of planet Earth. Matt Damon, that little scoundrel, uses a customized AK-47 to blow the tits off of a robot who thought he was tough shit. That is the weapon that this mod is based off of. This mod adds the Elysium AK from the movie to Fallout 4. It features all its own custom meshes, textures, sounds, and animations. A weapon like this gets me so worked up I almost need to fart to calm down. But I don't, because I like to live dangerously. Now if you want to get your hands on this puppy, then there's a small quest you can do to acquire it. And after the quest is complete, you'll be able to craft this AK at the chemistry station. This weapon mod has a few customization options as well to give it a little variety in the game. It's got 5 receivers, 2 magazines, 2 laser settings, 6 damage modifiers, and 4 ammunition types to choose from. Now when you pump up the damage modifiers and throw on some explosive ammunition, just touching that trigger will make anyone within earshot get an immediate puckered butthole. This mod fits in really well to Fallout 4. Honestly, it looks just like a normal AK that was modified slightly to give it a more futuristic style and function. The AK fits with the lore of Fallout, and this type of AK is a very immersive addition, as a lot of the weapons in Fallout have been modified or changed to a degree throughout time. This AK gives you the impression it was modified and not made. I rate this mod one lady who's never seen fire. Hey there, buddy. What do you got there? This mod adds a completely unique concept weapon to Fallout 4 called the Cryolance. The Cryolance takes the cool parts of both the cryolator and a railgun. This weapon uses advanced refrigeration to condense large icicles from moisture in the air, and then uses magnetic induction to fire them at incredible speeds towards anything unfortunate enough to be on the business end of this bad boy. And if you don't know what all that fancy words means, it just means that it makes shit really f***ing cold. Now, the Cryo-Lance is mostly a ballistic weapon. However, there is a cryo damage component that bypasses virtually any defenses. It's even better than the crane kick from the Karate Kid. Needless to say, Johnny's pride wouldn't have been the only thing hurt if he took a full dose of Cryo-Lance to the cranium, because he'd be f***ing dead, and LaRusso would have been on the hook for murder 1, which he probably would have served some hard time. Because let's face it, it'd be really hard to convince a judge you accidentally smuggled a Cryo-Lance into a karate tournament, and then accidentally shot your opponent in the face during a karate match, and then accidentally teabagged his frozen lifeless body in front of 200 confused spectators. But I digress. This weapon can be tuned at a weapons workbench to improve its cryo damage even further. Unique to most science-based weapons, the Cryo-Lance can even be suppressed with a special add-on, so you can ice blast someone right in the penis without alerting the neighbors. Now, because of its unique and complex nature, the Cryo-Lance is a rare find within the wastes. However, it can occasionally be found on specialty weapon vendors at or above level 25. It can also be found as a legendary weapon above level 30. And if your intelligence is high enough, then you can actually craft this bad boy at the chemistry station. It has a fair amount of customization options as well, including 3 barrels, 2 foregrips, 2 grips, 4 add-ons, 4 sights, and 13 skins to choose from. However, in order to acquire all these beautiful skins, you'll have to download the additional skin pack from gumroad.com/Nero. I rate this mod one guy who immediately regretted getting involved in sports. Go ahead, play soccer, they said. It's not a violent sport, they said. Bullshit! This mod brings the iconic weapon of the Star Wars franchise to the Commonwealth. That's right, if you're a Star Wars fan, this mod will tickle your because now you'll be able to use a lightsaber in the Fallout universe, which in some ways kind of feels like it fits into the world. All I'm saying is you can slice up a raider like a samurai with this melee weapon and not feel like it's ruining your immersion. The mod author did an excellent job bringing this new type of melee weapon to life in Fallout 4. The custom meshes and textures suit the world perfectly, and the sounds and animations would make any hardcore Star Wars fan go from 6 to midnight. This weapon has a ton of customization options and plenty of different hilts to choose from. DMagnus recreated all the hilts you might recognize, and so many more. He even included some of his own original concepts, which all look really cool. So really now you'll be able to roleplay as a Jedi or Sith if you really want to in Fallout 4. Honestly, I feel like if I were a Jedi, I would be the one Jedi that gets the defaulty lightsaber that couldn't cut through shit, and I'd have to do my own sound effects just to fit in. Vadoom! Fadoom! Crackling noise. Vadoom! I also think I would make a terrible Jedi because I would constantly use my force powers just to pants people in public. Hey Yoda!
Remove my pants, you did! Pissed I am!
All of the hilts can be customized, and they're all available in one-handed and two-handed variants, so you can choose how many fingers you want on the hilt at any given time. Are you a 10 or a 5-fingered kind of person? That's totally up to you. Now, if you want to acquire this delicious dandelion of a mod, then you can craft it at the chemistry station if you got the right supplies. I rate this mod one kitten who's being robbed at finger point.
I'll give you whatever you want, just don't poke me, okay?
This mod adds the MTS 255 revolver shotgun to the Commonwealth. Favored by the gunners, this Russian-made hunting shotgun features several variants to adapt to your preferred playstyle. It has its own custom meshes and textures, as well as its very own custom firing sounds for each ammo type. There are multiple modifications for this weapon to really make it look and feel any way you like. There are 4 receivers, 6 grips, 12 barrels, 12 sights, 4 ammo conversions, and 8 damage modifiers. It has so many different customizations you can mix and match until your eyeballs turn all crusty and red, and you still wouldn't have seen all the different combinations. You can make everything from a handgun all the way to a sniper rifle. It's just got all the goodies you need. You can even give it a long, girthy barrel and a tiny handle, so everyone in the Commonwealth will assume you have a big floppy penis. Now, if you want to find this weapon, it can be found throughout the Commonwealth and can be obtained from certain vendors. It can be acquired primarily from members of the Gunners faction, but also has a chance of appearing on the Brotherhood Soldiers, Legendary Raiders, and Diamond City Guards. There are also 4 exclusive legendary variants to be found on unique boss enemies throughout the world. some of which have rare uncraftable modifications. The names of the 4 unique variants are Flint's Fury, Sarge Jr., Layla, and the Reaper. This is an excellent mod that should be a must-have addition to anyone's playthrough of the game. I rate this mod that moment you realize you may have parked your car on an airport runway. Yeah, I get that, officer, but there weren't any signs saying I couldn't park there, alright? This mod adds a massive shotgun to the world of Fallout, and when I say massive, I mean it's big. The punt gun was often handmade, and it was used through the 19th and early 20th centuries for mass hunting water flow, because I guess they hated water flow, and gets its name due to the fact that these beasts were typically mounted on top of a boat called a punt. A single shot from a punt gun could wipe out 50 or more water flow, and on occasion, fleets of up to 10 punts toting these massive shotguns were deployed for maximum hunting efficiency. You know? What the f did these water flow do to these people? Due to how rapidly these things depleted stock of wild water flow, which again is it's a small bird, the use of punt guns was eventually outlawed in most states by the 1980s. Of course, this being the Commonwealth Wasteland, old bands don't matter anymore, do they? And punt guns have begun to make a little bit of a comeback. I know what you guys are thinking. Those water flow acted a bit more like human beings. Would they have killed so many of them? And I think they would have killed more. Think about it this way. If animals acted like people, it'd be really upsetting. Don't believe me? Just imagine looking out your window and seeing a raccoon twerking its butt cheeks together to a Taylor Swift song. I don't know about you guys, but I'd probably move after that, you know? The punt gun, owing to its ludicrous size, is heavy, a bit slow to reload, and kicks like a retarded donkey on steroids. But there's no better way to clear out a room of ghouls or prompt a bunch of raiders to shit in their power armor than to bust out one of these bad boys. The mod comes with custom meshes, textures, sounds, muzzle flashes, and even a reload animation. Put it this way, if a detective found this gun in your house, you'd be going to jail for crimes you haven't even committed yet. Especially if that detective was a water flow. You'd have a lot of explaining to do then, for sure. There are a few customization options for this weapon, including 9 receivers, 4 barrels, 3 muzzles attachments, 13 scopes, 2 stocks, 4 choke options, and 11 ammo types to choose from. The punt gun also does a base damage of 160 and is classed as a big gun. No shit. Meaning its stats will change depending on ranks in big gun related perks. Its base weight clocks in at 35 pounds and will of course raise or lower depending on the mods attached. Though it will still remain in the double digits. These things were meant to be mounted on boats after all. Yeah. Now, as many of you may have noticed, this gun comes with more than a few ammo types. Apart from the standard buckshot, there are also birdshot, which increases the projectile count, and so makes the punt gun vomit lead, though it slightly reduces the damage. On top of this, there are slugs, which, as you'd expect, are quite sizable. Quite sizable indeed, compared to your usual shotgun slug. This gun also does a bit more bash damage than your usual gun, due in part to it being so hefty. Power armor is almost a must for this beast, but nothing's really stopping you from carting this sucker around without it. Of note, the explosive buckshot and explosive birdshot ammo mods require Idiot Savant 1 and 2 respectively. For some reason, it just doesn't show at the workbench. Now, if you want to acquire this beast of a weapon, it has been added to the level list using scripts, and is on the rarer side of things. However, it can be found on gunners and raiders that use Fat Man, as well as a Fat Man toting raiders in power armor, but will also turn up on vendors and other legendary enemies. Also, one can be found in the world space at Dark Hollow Point if you just want to go over there and get your fingertips on this big old bitch. I rate this mod one duck that has managed to make all the other ducks at the park his bitch.
Why'd you stop moving, bitch? Keep swimming or I'll smack you again.
This mod adds the Super Sledge from Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas to the Commonwealth in Fallout 4. This mod includes 6 attachments and the return of Oh Baby from Fallout New Vegas. Now, the attachments include the Tenderizer, which adds 2 heavy-duty spiked plates, which are pretty nasty and will definitely soften up your enemies. The Stop Sign, which adds a stolen stop sign to the hammer, which serves as an ironically painful message to anyone you choose to use it on. The Buzzsaw, which adds a monstrosity that converts the Super Sledge from a hammer into a man-portable buzzsaw capable of slicing through anyone's face. The Brand, which adds a red-hot US Army star to the weapon that can be used to burn people. Discard, which is an experimental attachment that will shock your enemies to death. Bottle caps, which adds 2 oversized novelty Nuka-Cola bottle caps to the hammer, which if used successfully to kill your enemies, will shower them with counterfeit and worthless bottle caps. The Mjolnir, which enables you to imbue the weapon with the power of Odin himself. Successful critical hits will actually add a throwing hammer to your inventory that you can use to stun and damage enemies. Now, any one of these variants would easily protect you against a Velociraptor in Jurassic World. Speaking of Jurassic World, I don't really understand Jurassic World. I get Jurassic Park, you find yourself an old as f mosquito and some crusty honey, you build yourself a dinosaur park. What doesn't make sense, right? People come, they gawk at the dangerous creatures, Newman f***s everyone over for some whipped cream, and a guy gets eaten while taking a shit. But what I don't get is Jurassic World. That's where you lose me. Why are people still attending this amusement park? If Mickey Mouse went nuts one day and started eating people, I think it's safe to say people would stop going to Disney World.
Ho-ho! I got you, little bitch! Ho-ho!
It's government land! Save the kids! Get to the car! There is also a legendary old baby from Fallout New Vegas, which is making its return now, thanks to this mod. It's a little rusty, but still packs a mean hammer to the face, which is so mean that you might find yourself launching your enemies far, far away. It can be found inside the Forgotten Church outside of the Glowing Sea. The base version of this weapon has been injected into Fallout 4's level list with the use of a script, and it will begin spawning on certain enemies and vendors once the player reaches level 10 or higher. I rate this mod that moment you realize you're too drunk to remember how to open a door.
A little help, please.
This mod adds the Propulso 5000 by Psytech Systems to the world of Fallout 4. This is a non-lethal, somewhat humane way to keep pipe gun-wielding enemies, adoring fans, and stalkers at bay by pushing them into a nearby wall or border, or even off a cliff. And now, you'll be able to blow everyone in the Commonwealth. Mercy Long giving you shit. Bye-bye, Mercy. Trash Can Carla just bothering you for no reason. See ya, bitch. Preston Garvey's wiener not sucking itself. I mean, oh, shit. It's weapons like these that actually make me start to think about things in a different light. You know, even get a little bit political. If weapons like these were real, then I might even start to agree with Trump about weapons in schools, but not guns! No, that's too much. However, if they did have this weapon in schools to deal with bullies, that would be great. Imagine air blasting Donnie off the jungle gym because he was slapping the foreign kids again. Will Donnie ever recover? Who knows? But I think it's a small price to pay for justice. Now that kid that eats his boogers will have a safe space to go to do gross shit all day, and there will be no one around to kick him in the nutsack until he shits his pants. That's a win-win, I think. That is a win-win. Now, if you do want to acquire this weapon and you are at or above level 15 when you install this mod, then a postman's gonna come looking for you. And once you kill this chubby male delivery man, you'll be able to take the Propulso right off his dead body. If you are less than level 15 when you install this mod, then you're gonna have to wait until you reach level 15, you f***ing greedy bastard. Then you can go to the root cellar in Sanctuary or the one at the Groski cabin, and it should trigger the postman quest. If that doesn't work, then just open the postman safe in the cabin cellar. The key is actually pretty easy to find. I rate this mod one guy who's addicted to the sweet, sweet smell of public subway poles. Oh yeah, that's the good stuff right there. Oh yeah. Now the great thing about using a little shovel as a weapon is you can bring it everywhere you go. And people don't know that you're carrying 12 pounds of lethal force in your teddy bear backpack. I do it all the time. I remember the last time someone cut in front of me at the line at the movies, I was all like, "Excuse me, buddy, I was standing there." Don't ever butt in front of me again. Oh my god, I think that guy's dead! Now the entrenching tool, or the E-tool for short, is a perfect melee multi-purpose weapon. It is a collapsible spade used by military forces for a variety of military purposes, including digging holes in the ground and f***ing up line cutters. Survivalist freedivers, campers, hikers, outdoorsy groups, and even your occasional lazy gopher will find this bad boy indispensable in field use. This mod looks incredible and really gives melee fighting in Fallout a whole new dynamic. It makes you feel like you can use anything as a weapon and really helps to bring the world to life in the game. The mod author did a great job on the meshes and textures, making the E-tool look realistic and combat ready. Also, it has been implemented into the world through the level list, so once you reach level 20 or higher, you'll be able to loot this portable toilet off of dead raiders. Now the damage, design, weight, and overall presence are immersive and make this melee weapon an excellent addition to the Commonwealth. I rate this mod that one face you make when you fart on the bus and you're wondering whether or not the person next to you actually heard it. This mod adds a new Enclave Plasma Rifle prototype to Fallout 4. This weapon honestly looks like it came back from the future to kill John Connor. It's just got that super powerful futuristic vibe, you know? I mean, this big tit sniffer here bodies bad guys, boys, like it's a 1990s action film featuring Jean-Claude Van Damme. This juicy slut just takes the most aggressive super mutant center ice, drops the gloves, and full sends on him, eh? If you know what I'm saying there, bud. Just feed him the cuts, eh? They'll be walking home with crooked haircuts and broken dreams, boys. Because this weapon doesn't give a f***. It's a savage. Sorry, I just went all Canadian there for a second. Woo! This weapon mod just brings it out of me, you know? Now this prototype has a number of different modifications as well to change it up in the game. It has several receivers, 2 barrels, 3 stocks, 3 sights, and multiple skins to choose from. Now this weapon also has its own custom meshes, textures, and animations. This is definitely one of the most unique looking weapon mods I've ever seen in Fallout 4. Now if you want to get one of these weapons for your very own collection, then you can find one underneath an abandoned shack at the Federal Surveillance Center, K-21B. Now this is a juicy one-of-a-kind style weapon with an unbelievable design and look in the game, making it a fun and an exciting addition to Fallout 4. I rate this mod 1 llama that'll do just about anything for a piece of a Kit Kat bar. Come on, man, break me off a piece. Just a tiny, little, super sexy piece. This mod adds 4 new bladed weapons to the game, 3 of which are energy melee weapons, and the other is reusable energy throwing knives, each with their own unique effects in the game. Now first we got the plasma katana, which actually looks like it could cut through really thick bamboo trees. It's basically if a plasma rifle and a katana were to dry hump each other long enough that they actually became one thing. This is what you get, right here. Then we've got the BER-2, aka the laser sword, which looks badass and makes me want to fight Sith Lords on Naboo. Then we've also got the Crucible sword, which looks eviler than f***. Now this sword was likely found serving 12 consecutive life sentences for strangling Teletubbies. It's that f***ing evil. And finally, there's the plasma throwing knives, which are a nice addition and make hitting enemies from a distance a real possibility. All of the swords have multiple tiers and customizations, meaning that they can be upgraded to be more and more powerful in the game, which is pretty awesome. The laser sword and the plasma sword can both be found throughout the world space, as they have been added to the respective level lists. However, the Crucible sword has to be crafted as it's not located anywhere in the world space, mainly because it terrifies the children. Now the throwing knives are also craftable at the chem lab, and once they've been used once, they'll have to be repaired to be used again. Now this is an excellent mod that adds some really unique and unbelievable new concept weapons to Fallout 4. I rate this mod 1 owl that gives off a really pervy vibe.
Me, you, 2 bottles of wine, and an inflatable pool. What do you say?
This mod adds a modular infantry energy rifle to the game. Now at first glance, this thing looks kinda harmless, but looks can be deceiving. If grade 3 English class has taught me anything, it's that you can't judge a book by its cover, which is why I never learned how to read. However, with that said, this weapon kinda looks like Sesame Street recently got into arms dealing.
Hello there, children. This weapon's brought to you by the letter W. As in who? As in who's got my f***ing money, man?
This mod brings an energy weapon to the game with all new custom meshes and textures. The weapon mod itself looks fantastic and fits really well with Fallout 4's overall aesthetic, making it an immersive addition to the game. This weapon has a few customization options to switch up its gizmos and gadgets to make it look and function differently in the game. There are 2 magazines, 3 stocks, 2 grips, 2 handguards, 8 scopes, and 15 skins to choose from. This sneaky nut toucher is actually multiple weapons in one, ranging from a shotgun style that blows people's nipples apart, to a sniper, to even a high-powered, slow-moving super weapon that locks onto its targets. Now, if you want to acquire this weapon, it can be found on various enemies and merchants across the Commonwealth, as it has been added to the respective level lists. You can also craft it at the chemistry station if you have the supplies to do so. Now, this weapon is extremely cool. It adds both new functionality and style to Fallout 4. It's immersive, fun to use, and super unique. This is definitely a mod I would recommend in anyone's playthrough of the game. I rate this mod 1 bird that's lying during a police investigation. Nope, can't help you, officers. I didn't see a thing. This mod adds the Battle Rifle 77 to Fallout 4 with all new custom meshes and textures that have been built completely from scratch. It looks both amazing and super complicated. I mean, just look at all the buttons and switches on this thing. Looks like it's communicating directly with the Pentagon, or at the very least, satellites from Jupiter. You could firebomb a foreign country with this thing, no problem. Just push the wrong gizmo and there it goes wherever the fuck. Hope they weren't important. This thing looks dangerous and confusing, which is exactly what you want in a murder weapon. It pretty much sells itself. I can see the commercial already. Come on down to Gary's Weapon Emporium and buy our newest, most advanced weapon yet, the BR-77. There's buttons on here, we don't even know what the fuck they do. Like, what's this thing for? I think I just killed Kevin. Yep, he's dead. This weapon is completely unique and looks incredible in the game. It has so many customization options, I actually stopped reading halfway through and just passed out. I went unconscious, you know? It has 12 receivers, 6 barrels, 7 stocks, 6 magazines, 10 scopes, 4 grips, 6 rail types, 3 suppressors, name tags, a ton of different skins, countless laser sights, and other gadgets and shit. No two versions of this weapon need look the same at all. You can pretty much mold this weapon to fit whatever look or character build you're going for, which is pretty incredible. This weapon also has a total of 12 different abilities. What are abilities, you're probably wondering? Well, just cool your cheeks and I'll tell ya. Damn. Abilities are basically like perks, but they only activate while you're using the weapon, like healing you over time or increasing your carry weight. Abilities are unlocked and you will earn them gradually as you use the BR-77, which makes this one of the most unique weapon mods I've ever seen in Fallout 4. Now, if you want to acquire this weapon, then one will spawn in the world space in a house in Sanctuary. You can also wait until you're level 5 or higher, as it will start to spawn on enemies and vendors, as it has been added to the respective level lists. Now, this is an incredible mod that adds some nostalgia for Halo fans, but above all, adds an unbelievably fun weapon to the game. I would highly recommend this weapon to anyone's playthrough of the game. I rate this mod 2 birds that'll do anything to fit in with the cool kids.
You think we're cool yet? Not sure. Better just keep sucking.
This mod adds the M60 light machine gun to Fallout 4. This weapon mod is what some people might call a big boy gun, because it packs a whole lot of violence. The mod itself looks fantastic with custom meshes and textures and animations. Every time I reload this weapon, it's like a little imaginary unicorn named Euphoria is trying to prance its little fictional hooves right through my medulla oblongata, and it feels kind of nice. This weapon does have a few customization options, including a few receivers, and you can also change the ammo bag to make it bigger and hold more ammo. The customization options are nothing to call home about, but that doesn't take away from the overall awesomeness of this weapon mod. It's still insanely fun to use in the game, and it functions flawlessly. If you want to get your man mittens on this big boy gun, then don't fret, as it will start to spawn in the world space once your character reaches level 25 or higher, as it has been added to the respective level lists. The M60 was a light machine gun in Fallout New Vegas, and this mod author did a wonderful job bringing that weapon back to life in Fallout 4. So if you want your game to feel more like Fallout New Vegas, then you're gonna want to download this mod. I rate this mod 1 dog that doesn't trust his human. Where have you been? You been cheating on me? Get over here and let me smell your dick. Now this mod adds some sinister as f looking blades to the Commonwealth from Alice Madness Returns. I'll be honest, I had no idea what Alice Madness Returns was, but the blades looked so f***ing sick, I didn't ask any questions. However, I did some reading on the Nexus page, and apparently this knife is featured in the mod author's Shadowland game in Fallout New Vegas. And instead of reusing the old meshes, the mod author actually made this weapon from scratch, and it looks incredible. Now this knife looks like something right out of a horror movie, or at the very least something a crazy person would carry around to Dexter the out of people. It looks very realistic, and it's crazy unique with a design that stands out and makes a statement. It says, hey,
Come here, I'll stab the shit out of you. I'll stab your eyes.
so it's a completely original addition to Fallout 4. Now this weapon has a few different customization options. There are 6 blades, including a standard blade, a serrated blade, a cleaver blade, a serrated cleaver, a legendary blade, and a legendary cleaver. There are also 4 hilts, including a standard one, a Hatter manufactured one, and 2 legendary variations of the standard and Hattered hilts. Now if you want to acquire this weapon, you'll have to use the console commands, as the mod author was unable to create an immersive way to acquire it in-game because of conflict issues. However, that will hopefully be resolved in the future, as this is an excellent addition to the game, and it would be great to be able to find it throughout the Commonwealth. I rate this mod 1 bear that would do anything for honey. I will smell your ass crack for some honey right now. This mod allows you to craft and attach any weapon mod to any weapon, so it's basically all in the name with this one. This mod makes no sense at all, and it might actually affect the non-unique weapons carried by enemies you encounter in the Commonwealth, or in store inventories. However, this mod allows players to be extremely creative when it comes to modifying their weapons, allowing players to use all of the vanilla gun mod assets in the game to conjure up their very own f***ed up masterpiece. Finally, with this mod, I'll have a gun that I can show off to all my friends. Hey, you kids want to see something? Look at this! Yeah, that's pretty cool, right? Y'all want to touch it?
My dad says we gotta stop hanging out with you because you're 40 years old and you hang out with a bunch of kids. You're a f***ing loser.
God damn it, Timmy, you ruined it again! Timothy, I ain't afraid of you. You're 8 years old. I'll punch you right in the goddamn chest. Now, when you use this mod, you may very well create something that no other player playing Fallout 4 has ever used or ever will use. I mean, the possibilities are endless. And this mod is extremely fun to use. The custom weapons now will inherit the base stats and attributes from the base weapon. So if you want a shotgun that shoots mini nukes, you'll have to start with a Fat Man and go from there. There are still some restrictions. Now, for instance, you can't attach a muzzle to a barrel that doesn't support muzzles. But you can always change the barrel to one that actually supports muzzles and then use that. So really, this isn't a major issue. The way the projectiles look and behave is usually inherited from the muzzle. That means if you attach a laser weapon muzzle, the projectiles will behave as lasers even if the gun is using a different kind of ammunition. In no way is this mod immersive, and it can be kind of annoying actually when you're trying to add a vanilla mod to its own asset and having to search through dozens of mods with the same name. However, it is a crazy unique addition to the game that adds variety to Fallout 4 like no other. I would highly recommend anyone give this mod a try at least once, if nothing else, just because it's crazy fun to create f***ed up weapons. I rate this mod the body posture I use when answering stressful questions. I've never even heard of this word cat that you're referring to, okay? I have no idea what that is. Please look directly into my butthole when you're talking to me. Are you tired of having to throw a flare at your enemies and just sit there and wait for that group of underachievers to come to your rescue? Oh god, I hope they kill this thing. Well, this mod actually sorts you out. It gives you your very own portable artillery, so you don't have to wait for those pesky Minutemen anymore. You can just start blasting out artillery rounds on your own, on command. Boom shakalaka, boom shakalaka, boom. There are some clipping issues with this weapon in first person. You'll notice the left arm kind of clips through there, but other than that, it looks pretty insane. Preferably in third person when you're shooting it. It definitely packs a punch, and it will kill the shit out of anything you aim it at. It's definitely a good idea to keep your distance from the blast zone. You don't want to get caught up in that shit. So in short, this mod adds a handheld artillery gun to the Commonwealth. It looks exactly like what you would expect it to look like. Big and scary. It fires artillery rounds, which makes Preston Garby come in his pants every time you fire one. It doesn't have a whole lot of customization options, but really, I don't think a scope would help round this gun out any. It can be crafted at the chemistry station under utility, but you'll have to clear old guns to be able to access it. Not sure if it's very lore friendly, but it's still an insane weapon to play with and a whole lot of fun. I rate this mod that one kid you're pretty sure is peeing in the pool. I'm on to you, kid, and that's really gross. If Pokemon Go gets you wet in your panties, then you'll f***ing love this mod. You can now craft Nukamon balls in the grenade section of your chemistry station. They require some plastic and nucleocola to be crafted. You can then throw the Nukamon ball at a person or critter in the Commonwealth, and it will capture that f***er as long as it's close enough when you throw it. So if you throw like a little bitch, you're gonna need to get really close. Once you have a filled Nukamon ball, you can throw the filled Nukamon ball containing your new friend at an unsuspecting thing that you wanted to battle. And that f***er will come out blazing. Raidermon, I choose you! Unless he's already dead, then it's lackluster as f***. Okay, so here's what I don't get. It's okay to capture unsuspecting people in a little plastic ball for who knows how long, and nobody bats an eye. But I dress up once as a Bulbasaur and press my against a bus window, and I'm the weirdo. Anything you catch in your Nuka Ball shouldn't attack you, at least at first, so kidnapping them actually makes them friendly. Who knew? At least they won't attack you unless you attack them. So kidnapping makes them friendly as long as you're not an abusive kidnapper. If you're an abusive kidnapper, you'll have abusive kidnappees. So FYI. This is a very unique mod and a ton of fun to use. I like to capture settlers and throw them out into the middle of the ocean and just look at their face when they emerge from the Nuka Ball. You stupid bastards, you're all wet! I rate this mod 14 consecutive text messages that confirm that new girl you're seeing is batshit crazy. You didn't answer, so I'm hanging outside your window looking through your blinds. What the f***? I live on the 12th floor. Let's just say if I had one of these bad boys in real life, I wouldn't have to sleep with the nightlight on anymore. You know what I'm saying? This weapon is very unique and is based off of the Necromonger's hero rifle seen in the movie The Chronicles of Riddick. It doesn't take any ammo, rather it operates like an overcharged leaf blower and sends your enemies flying into f***ing pieces. This gun doesn't really break immersion either, as alien weaponry is something we've already seen in the Fallout universe. The gun looks great, with awesome textures and a custom design. The gun is extremely fun to play with and adds a whole new category of gun into the game itself. If you want to use this beastly f***er, you can find it at the alien crash site in the cave where you find the alien blaster pistol. I once met Vin Diesel in real life, and I asked him about this gun. I wanted to know the physics behind it. So I pressed him pretty hard for it, and do you know what he said to me? I'll never forget it. He said, "What the f*** are you doing in my house?" I rate this mod that one weird half-naked guy on the bus who makes eye contact with you while he's rubbing his nipple. Why is this happening to me? Let's just say if I had a gun like this one, I would get a whole lot more respect at my neighbor's inflatable pool. Teach those sons of bitch kids to laugh at me, sons of bitch kids. This mod author actually adds a lot of really quality mods to Fallout 4, and this edition is no different. Likely the most lore-friendly on this week's list, and definitely an excellent addition to the game. It has tons of customization options, including 30 unique color palettes, 4 pattern styles, 2 traditional textures, 5 lamp colors, and a variation of custom sights and other unique modifications. This gun has so many customization options, it could literally be your Aunt Gable if you really wanted it to be. This truly is an insanely unique weapon, one which you really can't find anywhere else, so great job, Nero. If you want to acquire this weapon, you can craft it at the Chem Lab, or you can find it on Synth Leaders, Legendary Enemies, and there's actually 3 hand-placed throughout the world for that immersive feel. Oh yeah. It looks and sounds awesome, and I feel just good about it. I rate this mod one drunk guy who's unusually aggressive towards penguins. I hate those slippery sons of bitches. You just can't trust them. This gun has definitely got that intimidation factor down for sure. I mean, Kellogg's always running around showing people his measly little magnum saying, "This is gonna solve all my problems." Now, if you whip this big old gun out in front of Kellogg, he would have taken his fucking Frosted Flakes and f***ed off out of the Commonwealth a long time ago. Because he's scared of your giant gun. When you want something so powerful, you shit a little every time you pull the trigger. That's what you get when you use this gun. This gun is actually awesome, and it's pretty immersive. It even comes with its own backstory onto how it was developed in the Fallout universe. The story goes it was designed before the Great War, decommissioned in 2047 due to perceived inefficiency on foot soldiers, probably because it's gigantic as fuck, hard to carry. But it was recommissioned in 2067 with the addition of power armor, and it actually saw a lot of action leading up to the nuclear end, which is Fallout's beginning. This gun feels powerful and it looks great. It has multiple receivers, 5 sights, 2 muzzles, and 2 stocks. If you want to acquire this gun, specialist stores like Cleo's and Good Neighbor have it, or it's located in 5 different locations throughout the Commonwealth. Immersive. Or you can be a little bitch like me and use the console commands. I just couldn't wait to show my settlers how fucking big it is. Look how big it is, Mama Murphy. I rate this mod 1 boomerang that I threw 3 years ago that never came back to me. I haven't left my house in 3 years. I'm fucking terrified. I have this theory about this weapon. Now hear me out. I believe that this weapon is actually a magical sea turtle that can grant you wishes if you just tickle its balls. I mean, look at it. It definitely looks like something that could grant wishes, right? It could have been, maybe, I don't know. Anyways, it's one of those conspiracy theories, you know? But I love conspiracy theories. I think they're great. They turn boring things into super sketchy things. What's not to love? For instance, I'm also convinced that Joe Biden is 900 years old, and he just sucks the souls out of children like the witches from Hocus Pocus to stay alive. What's that all about? Anyways, enough about me and my conspiracy theories. Now this mod adds the Volk from Infinite Warfare and its variants into Fallout 4, alongside 2 outfits from Infinite Warfare ported by BZW. Now this is a little bit of technical talk, but the animations were made with a ported IW rig on top of the Fallout 4 rig. So if you use the vanilla Fallout 4 hands, which most of us do, right? You might see some gaps. Also, it's important that you follow the instructions laid out in-game in the crafting menu. If you're told to use a specific attachment with another attachment, then follow it to avoid problems in the game. Apparently, Fallout 4's engine limitations made it difficult for the mod author to do the mod exactly the way they wanted it to. Either way, the animations, the meshes and textures, the sounds, all of it look absolutely incredible in the game. Now, some of the attachments for this weapon mod will require more than 2 perks, so just keep that in mind. Now, this mod will add 3 energy rifles into the game, the default Volk, Corruption, and Goliath. Now, each gun will be unique in its own rights. Obviously, I didn't show all of them because I didn't want to give away spoilers, but these weapons all look incredible in the game. Now, each one of these guns will be useful for different types of engagements in the game, all of which look and function incredibly in Fallout 4. Now, even though this weapon is theoretical and it doesn't actually exist, the mod authors did an amazing job on this mod, and it looks just so lifelike in the game. It's like you could just reach out and smell it, you know? Just, oh yeah, you know, that's how I smell things. It might be a medical condition, I don't know. Anyways, if you want to get your hands on these beautiful weapons, they can be crafted at the chemistry station after you download this mod. I rate this mod 1 basketball player realizing he's terrified of basketballs. Please don't tell people I scream like that.
Have you ever just wanted to have a gentleman's duel with somebody in Fallout 4 but didn't have the necessary equipment to do so? Well, don't worry, because this mod actually adds a unique melee weapon to the game. Now, this is the type of sword that was used in Europe during the 16th and 17th centuries. It's got speed and finesse written all over it. In fact, it might just be the very best weapon ever created for Fallout to have those gentlemen's duels with. And you know how that old saying goes, if it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, and talks like a duck, then chances are I'm probably gonna f it. Because I f ducks. Hard. This weapon is super elegant looking, which is great because you rarely see classy weapons in the post-apocalypse. The textures and design are excellent, making this weapon very easy on the eyes. Now, looking good might not be the most important thing there is, but it sure beats looking like shit.
Why does nobody love me?
Now, the sword itself has multiple versions, which just add to its immersive design. What I really enjoy about this mod author is that when you find the melee weapons in the Commonwealth, they're always rusty and rugged looking, and in order to get them back to their pristine condition, you have to take them to a weapons workbench and restore them by hand. Now, to me, this might be one of the most immersive ways that I've seen someone add a melee weapon to Fallout. Being as how most weapons that go uncared for a long period of time would wear over time. So in order to have an untarnished version of that weapon, it would only make sense that the player would have to restore it themselves. Now, if you want to get your hands all over this sexy beast, you'll find it on the USS Constitution in the captain's quarters. I rate this mod 2 crusty old people who just discovered the internet. This mod adds the type of gun that you brag about to all your friends. It's big, it's thick, it's powerful. I mean, this gun adopts orphan children just to neglect them. It's the type of gun that if you caught your wife looking at it on the internet, you'd hit her. This mod adds a super badass pistol to the game that has its own unique design. Now, this pistol is based off an anime series called Hellsing. Now, I don't know a lot about the series, but I do know that the anti-hero in this series uses the gun to strike down evil, and now so can you. This is definitely a very unique edition of Fallout, and it looks nothing like other pistols in the game. This gun really makes the vanilla weapons look like shit. I mean, they're a lot like a drunk bear who just let himself go, and now he can't intimidate anyone anymore.
I'm a big old scary bear.
Now, if you want to find this gun, you can find it in Virgil's lab in the glowing sea on top of a workbench. The ammo for this gun is completely unique as well. It's 13mm ammo, and it can be crafted at the chemistry station under utility. The gun has a few modifications, including a lightweight frame and custom magazines. Now, you can also use explosive shells, and there's also bottomless mags that allow you to shoot forever without having to reload. Now, the bottomless mags aren't very immersive, but this gun does feel amazing. It's just awesome shooting explosive rounds at raiders with this hand cannon. This is an outstanding addition of Fallout 4, and when you use it, you'll have the confidence to with the door open. I rate this mod 2 sweaty men making the same overly dramatic wrestling face. This is a bit of a change for this mod author, as he is most notably known for making awesome melee weapon mods. However, this is a marvelous addition of Fallout 4. It adds a more tactical flamethrower to the Commonwealth. So now your pyro ass won't have to lug around that big, bulky flamethrower when you want to chase someone down and just light them on fire. Wish I had one of these when I was a kid. Would have made the boogeyman think twice before grabbing my legs at night. I'm not an idiot. I know the boogeyman isn't real. Turns out it was just some creepy pervert hiding in my bed all those years. You want to know the worst part? Is I'm an adult now and he's still there. I got your leg. Oh my god, he's still there. Now, if you don't want to burn things, that's okay too, because there's different ammo types for this weapon, including ice mode, which freezes your enemies to death. Ooh, chilly. And poison mode, which shoots a deadly gas at them. The gun can be found on raiders, as it has been added to the leveled list. It has also been added to the legendary leveled list, so you can find it on legendary enemies as well. This gun looks awesome and functions great. It is incredibly unique and gives the player a new way to play the game if you enjoy lighting shit on fire. It gives you full mobility when you chase down those enemies to finish the job. When it comes to immersion, I give it a pass because it looks so nice. I rate this mod 1 weird furry animal that locks eyes like a fucking lunatic.
Thanks again for watching, folks. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure to slap that subscribe button like it's 3 weeks behind on your rent. Bitch! Where's the money, bitch? Where's the money? Where is it? Also, go ahead and hit that bell icon too, because apparently YouTube thought there should be extra steps. Why not, right?
I'd like to subscribe, but first I have to click this and do this. Oh, it needs an email. All right, and this. Okay. Just tell me when he's uploading.
Once you do all that, if you're lucky, at the stroke of midnight, a tiny little Averagebaters fairy might come and tickle your butthole. I hope to see you all again next time, and remember to keep on average baiting, baby.